Just one match on the video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday, late afternoon, early evening, depending on when it is that you're actually seeing this. I hope the day's treated you well. You've looked after yourself. You've had a good one. You know, if work was good, I'm glad. Enjoy that pint. Enjoy that something stronger if you need it. Enjoy that as well as much as you can. Obviously, if you are working tomorrow, I'm sorry. I have worked the weekends before. They are a bit rubbish. And if you've had a naff day at work, tomorrow is always another day. And you could potentially look forward to seeing Spurs end Arsenal's title charge. That would be nice. In this video, though, we are talking around the potential, maybe a transfer list as such of players that might be on their way out of the door. You can expect a few on there. As well as that, we're also going to be talking around a new player of interest, Alessandro Buongiorno. Buongiorno? Yeah. I've probably mullered that pronunciation. If I have, tell me down there how to say it, you know. It sounds like this, okay? So, yeah, if you are new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And, I just give you an update. I have released a second episode of the career mode this morning, so go back and have a watch of that. The preseason is now done, heading into the actual season itself. As well as that, we also released a video on Eberechi Eze and Jared Branthwaite earlier. So if you've missed that, go back and have a little watch as well. But let's start. I'm going to start with the Exodus, potentially. And I think it's important to kind of know this is obviously going to impact our spending this summer and, you know, what we're going to do. So Team Talk put out a bit of a thing and you know, they said there's 6 outbound Spurs players named, but there are more, okay? So I'll give you the first 6. It said Emerson Royal, Joe Rodon, Sergio Reguilon, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Lo Celso and Brian Hill. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 there. Sorry, you could... I was doing all this, but, you know... Look, I think if I go through individually, we know Brian Hill's moving on. We're not going to make tons of money on this deal. Yeah, we're going to probably get anywhere between about 5 and 8 million. That's what we're kind of, unfortunately, we've penciled ourselves into that ourselves. It wasn't, you know, it's not anyone else's fault but ours. With Lo Celso, we know he's got 1 year left on his contract coming into this summer. There was talk about how we've maybe actually offered him a new deal, and that just feels a bit muggy, if I'm honest. And that also I don't like, because that's kind of saying, oh, it's easier just to keep him for a few more years than actually have to go and get the replacement. And I don't like that mentality. The top club's mentality is, look, he's not going to be around here for the long term. He's good, so let's get some money now from him and reinvest into a guy that's going to be here 4, 5, 6 years. We just know Lo Celso is going to be here. If we gave him a new deal, it's going to be here a year, maybe 2. There's no point. So we know we can cash in him. About 15 million. So I'm going to do really conservative numbers, by the way. I don't want to be like, Brian Hill's going to get us 35 million. Lo Celso's getting us 55. No, 5, 15. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, this is a guy that obviously has a market. We know Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Napoli, Roma have been interested. Fulham have been interested. I think you can expect 15 million from him. I don't think that's outrageous to demand that as well. You know, a guy in his late 20s, but as a guy who could easily give you 4 or 5 years of service. And for 15 million is nothing. And he would kill it for Atletico. We know he would. So that's another 15 million. So we're looking at about 35 million right there. Sergio Reguilon, we know he's going to be gone as well. Another one with 1 year left in his deal in the summer. I think you're going to be looking at anywhere between about 8 and 10 million pounds for that one. So again, I'll be conservative of 8 million. I think let's just cash on him. So right now you're sitting around about 43 million. Joe Rodon, this is a guy that I think has done magnificently well this summer. He's going to have a market. He's going to fetch us about 15 million in my opinion. Again, conservative. He may even fetch a bit more. You know, if Leeds go up, we know their spending power goes up. They're going to want him anyway, regardless if they go up. But then you can think about the other teams that have come up, or Premier League teams that may be thinking about looking at Joe Rodon and going, well, he can play out from the back. He's fairly athletic. He's decent physicality. Yeah, let's have a punt. So I think if you're looking at 43 million on Reguilon, Højbjerg, Lo Celso and Brian Hill, you add another 15. That's 58 million for Joe Rodon. Now, Emerson Royal is a guy that I guess probably has the most value in terms of a transfer fee in the squad. We obviously know we rejected a bid of about £21 million from Al Nassr in January. I mean, look, I think if we get offered a bid of around about 20 to 25 million for Emerson Royal this summer, I think we need to seriously consider selling him and reinvesting into a player that suits the system a bit more. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But let's say it's 20 million. I mean, you're looking at there 75 to 80 million pounds. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And then if you throw into the top, the next part of this list where it says Japhet Tanganga, Jed Spence, and Tanguy Ndombele, I'm going to write Ndombele off as just a flat nothing, okay? Because I think he's not going to fetch you 15, 20 million. He's not going to fetch you 5, 10. And even if he fetches you 5, you're probably paying half of his wages for the rest of the season, which if it's £100,000 a week, it's £400,000 a month, times that by 12. You're looking at 4.8 million. So if you're making 5 million on a sale, you're only really getting nothing out of it because it's only going to cover the transfer, the wages that you would have to pay him. So that's why I consider it nothing. Jed Spence, it's about 8 million there. We know his release score is about 8 million, and I think you would probably get 7 to 8 million for Jed Spence. So again, if you're looking at the front lot being 78 million, that's 86 million there. And Japhet Tanganga, I think you can get between anywhere 8 and 10 million. I think the guy's had a really good loan spell at Millwall. He's been a key point of why they are actually climbing the league. He's had winners himself. He's won them 6 points through clean sheets and winners. So I think that if you're looking at it, it's somewhere between 90 and 100 million, all those players. And I would do it. And I would sell those players. I think Spurs could easily spend 150 million and not have to sell. We know that. If you throw them in there, you could say, right, we're going to spend 200 million in the summer. We're selling all these guys though. So we're going to have to look to bring in a right back, a left back, a left centre back, a 6, maybe a number 10. So left back, right back, left centre back, 6, 10, a winger and attacker. You could be looking to bring in 6 or 7 players this summer. I think they'd look to probably bring in about 5 or 6, hence why I don't think Emerson will leave personally. But it's interesting. It is interesting. And I think if you did that and you go, well, look, we're going to spend 200 million this summer, you could go and get the Eze. You can go and get a 6. You can go and get a striker like Solanke or Tony. You can go and get the left centre back at Kelly or Darabo. You can go and get the left back in there. You can go and get the right back. The left and right back could cost about 50 million. The 6 could cost about 50. Eze and attacker, 100 million. There you go. There's 200 million. And you've got all the players you wanted. And the squad is infinitely better. And also, you've still got Burval to come in there and Donnelly. So, Anyway, let's talk about Alessandro Buongiorno. I've probably remembered the name again. But anyway, it came from Calcio Mercato, who said that Tottenham have opened talks with Torino to understand the conditions of a transfer for Alessandro Buongiorno. The Italian club stance has not changed since January and is still demanding a 35 million euro fee for the centre-back. So it's about 30 million. Okay, let me give you who he is before I talk about him. Torino centre-half. He's born June 6th, 1999, so he'll be 25 this summer. He plays centre-back, a little bit left-back. He is left-footed, so let's hold that as well. Contract expires in the summer of 2028. This season, he's played 27 times across the Serie A and the Italy Cup. He scored 3 and got 1 assist, playing just short of 2,400 minutes. Now, I was watching a bit of Alessandro and just kind of get to grips about who he is as a guy. And super aggressive defender. Wants to intercept the ball. He's good at intercepting the ball. He reads the game well. Very physical. Wants to kind of, get in, not a scrap in terms of a fight, but a scrap with the attacker to get to the ball. Good stand tackle. That's one thing I kind of noticed was a really good stand tackle. I don't think he's the most athletic of players. I would say that. I'm not saying he's slow. I'm just saying I sadly compare the athletes in the defence area to Udogie and Van der Ven, which is a bit harsh. I know. Shoot me. But I don't see it as much. I think that versatility playing left back and left centre back, I think it's something to keep hold of. I think, that's potentially something that Lloyd Kelly kind of has over Adarabayo as well, that you can play left centre back as well as left back. For me, I don't see him being that much of an upgrade on those two guys, personally. Maybe not at all. And that's why I'd say 30 million. I'd rather go get Dorgu and Lloyd Kelly for 20 million, 25 million. It's better use of money. You get a left centre-back and a left-back. That's where my head's at. So we'll see what happens with this. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, hope you enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comments section your thoughts and opinions about those 9 players potentially leaving Spurs and what you think that value kind of works out to be. I've kind of said somewhere between 90 and 100. What do you think it is? Obviously, your thoughts and feelings about Alessandro Buongiorno, and maybe I've missed something, maybe I'm wrong about something. Let me know as well on that. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.